This video is sponsored by Cerebral.
Today, I'm going to a, quote, punk rock flea market, which I didn't know existed, but turns out it's a thing. I tend to say no to most things because like I'm tired or I don't want to get ready or I just don't feel like it. But I realized like a few months ago that I literally don't do anything with my life and that I just kind of make videos and then go to sleep, which kind of sucks. So I'm making myself say yes to more things. And this is one of them. Last night, I also did something. I went to my family's annual Christmas party. My side of the family, not Emma's side of the family, has like an annual Christmas party and we've been having them since I was like 16 maybe. I honestly haven't been in like 2 years because of COVID and moving and all kinds of stuff. But basically all my siblings just invite their friends and other family members and everybody socializes and talks. It's kind of like an adult party. It's not like a teenage party, you know, it's like fancy and you like dress up and stuff. But it's really funny thinking about the first couple years that we had this Christmas party because before I got married, I used to just invite all the boys that I had a crush on. So like the first year we ever had the party, I remember I invited 3 guys who I liked. Like I liked them all at the same time. And I just remember like I came downstairs in like my red Christmas dress and they were all like dumbfounded. At least that's how I felt when I was 15. And like they were all staring at me and they all liked me and I liked all of them and it was super funny. And one of them, which like I had this weird love-hate relationship with, that night at the Christmas party, he said to me, I don't want to say the word, but you're being kind of female doggish right now. Which obviously, like, you might as well just call me a bitch. Like, it's not anything better if you just say like, oh, you're being a female dog. Like that sucks. But anyway, the next year, I remember I also invited a guy who had a crush on, but this was a completely different person. At this time, I was like 16 or 17 and I was being an edgy teenager. And so like that time I spent the whole party in the basement with all my friends instead of up with like my parents and their friends. And I didn't expect this guy to come because he was like a cool guy and like I wasn't a cool girl. So like I didn't think he like wanted to hang out with me, but he came with like all his friends and like they came later at like 9 p.m. or something. And I talked to him for a while and he was like super flirting with me, which I like was not used to. And then we like listened to Chance the Rapper and then went to Taco Bell and it was really fun. But I just remember those parties being really magical and fun. So it was good to go this year. It was definitely different because I'm not a teenager anymore and I'm married and like there weren't as many people because I don't know, my family was kind of out of commission for various reasons, but it was good. Okay. And it was good that I made myself go out because I didn't really want to. I don't really like going out to parties anymore, but I kind of have to force myself to. And every time I do force myself to, I enjoy it. So it was definitely worth it. Stuff like that always reminds me of how when I'm like old and a mom, I really want to be like the fun house. Like I know that's cliche and everybody says that, but like I want to have annual parties that people look forward to, like for the Super Bowl or Christmas or whatever. And I want to have like all the sleepovers at my house. I want to have like parties at my house. Like I want my kids' friends to be like, oh, can we go to your house? Because you have like the fun house. Like that's what I want. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I literally fantasize about being a mom one day. I think about what I want my house to be like, how I want to raise my kids, like discipline and religion and like rules. I think about that stuff literally all the time. I feel like Emmett and I spend hours talking about like what we want our future to be. And it's partially good. And like I've been talking about this in my recent videos. It's really been on my mind recently. It's partially good and healthy and fine, but also sometimes I think I take it a little too far and like I use the future to escape the present and that's not good. So like I'm excited to be a mom. I'm excited to have kids. I'm excited to be 30 and have my own house and everything. Who even knows what my life's gonna be like? Who even knows if I'm gonna live that long? I don't know. I just need to focus on the present. That's the most important thing because my mental health was really suffering recently. And I think a huge reason why is because I was focusing so much on the future and so little on the present and not taking care of myself. But I've started to change it. Speaking of mental health, it's probably a good time to mention the sponsor of today's video, which is Cerebral. Cerebral is a mental health platform that provides access to ongoing online prescription medication management, counseling, and therapy for anxiety, depression, insomnia, and other conditions, all for a flat monthly rate. They have a mobile app in Google Play and the App Store where you can get treatment for various mental illnesses. You can get prescriptions for medication. You can do visits with your provider, therapist, or care counselor online, all from the comfort of your home whenever it's most convenient for you. Therapy can be really overwhelming and scary to start, and it's a lot to like try to get treatment for your problems. But I'm starting therapy next week. You guys can start it too, and things like Cerebral make it so much easier and so much less scary than, you know, the traditional way of getting therapy. You can start Cerebral with or without insurance, and it can be 3 times less costly than traditional therapy therapy services. All you have to do is go online to Cerebral, answer a little questionnaire, and it will help you select a plan, which one is right for you. And it really doesn't take that long to get help. So if you want to take the next step in working on your mental health, click the link in my description to start the questionnaire and get connected with the provider right away. Your first month starts at only $30, guys. Now that I'm thinking about that, I actually have to email my therapist today. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but I mentioned a bit ago that I had this therapist that I had to stop seeing because I moved to California. Basically, I started seeing him early this year in 2020 when I still was in Nashville full time. And he was like the best therapist I ever had. I've seen like 10 different therapists in my lifetime and none of them were very good. They didn't really get me. They didn't, help me have any like breakthroughs or really serious changes in my mental health. But this guy, I started seeing him and I just like instantly could tell that he was different than them. And when I had to move, he couldn't do therapy for me anymore because of state laws and stuff. Like he can only practice in Tennessee. So I was so sad about it. And like I literally emailed him at like midnight, like 2 months after I moved. And I was like, I miss being your client. And like I was so sad saying that like I wasn't doing well mentally and like I just wanted him to be my therapist again, which sounds really funny and strange, but he actually sent me back like the nicest email ever and like he was so kind about it. And so it made me feel really welcome to come back like if I needed to. And I've been in Nashville for a long time now and I'm gonna be here for another month. And a lot of you were encouraging me to go see him again, so I have to email him today. But for some reason I'm like nervous to reach out because I don't know why I think he hates me. Like I think everybody hates me at some point for no reason. Like I think that I'm being annoying or like he's not going to want to treat me because I don't live here full time or like he thinks I'm weird because I emailed him at midnight at one time. I don't know. I have just like a major issue thinking that people hate me. Like I could be friends with somebody for years and like if they text me the wrong way or something, like I'll automatically think that they don't like me anymore. And it's really upsetting. So yeah. Speaking of friends, I made approximately 3 friends in LA that I can actually hang out with, and it's really exciting. I have a lot more acquaintances that I could like hang out with, but for some reason I don't feel comfortable hanging out with a lot of people. I like talk myself out of it. I don't know why. Like I'll meet someone completely perfectly normal and know damn well that they want to hang out with me, but I won't hang out with them because of like some small reason. I don't know what it is. And like I won't text people back. I won't call them. I won't FaceTime them. I won't set up hangouts. Like I don't know why. I have to like force myself to keep up with relationships with most people. And it's actually like a really big issue in my life. Like I hate being lonely, but I feel like I'm only mentally capable of keeping up 1 or 2 solid friendships on top of my marriage, and like that's it. Which is weird because like when I was a kid, I was like super social. I think just like growing up in the pandemic and getting married and like trauma have just caused me to be shy. I used to be the one who constantly reaches out and gets left on red, but like now I leave people on red. And I feel terrible for it, but I feel like I can't stop because I just have so many like trust issues. I don't know. But I'm excited to see my friends when we go back to LA. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Goodbye.